Hello, my friends. It's the end of seasons award and apparently the transfer window, which I haven't done yet because we're not there yet. This is your last chance to put in your votes for player of the season, young player of the season, and signing of the season. Some of you did that last time, Mateus Mendez, and also he had Sean agreeing with him, said player of the year was Carranza, young player of the year was Barak, and signing of the season was Gila. Do you agree, or is it somebody else? Let's find out. All right, my friends, thanks for being here. Your support is greatly appreciated. It's taken me a while to get going here, so thanks. But let's get right to it, shall we? The new arrivals. Okay, I'm scrolling. There's nothing to scroll, so this is all the new arrivals. Mario Gila at 6.16 million, 726. They give a B-. Well, it's your own transfer, so that's not my fault. Vulic gets a B, which is an improvement. We got him on a free. Obviously, 707, 3 goals, 3 assists, 23 total appearances. Diaz gets a B-. Again, that's their transfer. Anderson gets a B-, but we've loaned him out. He's an investment, if you will. And Maleka gets a B-, which is fine. That's the transfers in. The transfers out. Novakovic gets a C+. How did Novakovic do? He had 19 total appearances, 9 of those being starts, 4 goals, 2 assists on a 6.92. Good for him. Good for him. It's not that impressive. I hate that you hit the back button. I'm not going there. Is there anybody else? Zeavaldo was a C+. Dante Rigo was a C-. How did he do? 15 starts, 3 goals, 4 assists on a 6.86. You know, he's settling in. He's settling in down at the division below us, yeah? Yeah. Vecchia was a D. But how did he do? 20 and 6, 20 starts, 6 subs, 6.75. Are they going to go down? Yes, they are 20th. They are dead last. They are getting relegated. See ya. Kind of is what it is. We kind of expected that. See, is anybody else really impressive? Okay, loans out. We had a bunch of those. I'm just looking for. They're all C's, aren't they? Gearman. Okay, Nazi gets a B-. I think he's kept Niort up, or Niorte. It's shortened to Niort on my screen. Yeah, okay. I guess there is one game left in the season, and if they lost, I don't know what the results are, but it looks pretty darn, they're not going straight down, so, good for him, and he's their starting goalkeeper, so that's been good for them and him. He's only been on a 6.83, but, he's also 22. We just threw him straight into Ligue 2, as you do. B+ for Silas Anderson and Sango on loan, and Rajiv gets a C. Also, ripped his leg off. So, top half was the board expectation. We finished second. 91% home attendance. Are they going to come back and start talking about building a stadium? Or is the new board like, no, those people are crazy, which you would kind of agree with. Carranza, top goal scorer. Obviously delighted the challenge for the title this season. You'd think they'd also mention thrilled that we've made it to the Champions League with all the money. Dutch Cup quarterfinal, disappointing. Lost to Heerenveen with that horrible run up on the penalty that still is seared in my memory. Biggest win 6-1 in the yellow and gold, or the green and yellow derby against Fortuna Sittard. What do you think? Dutch Cup goal of the season. Vulic, a powerful effort from 26 yards. Wait for it. Oh no, okay. No, you have to click on it. Ha ha ha. Oh, my green screen, sorry, it's over there. I gotta turn off a light. It's messing everything up. But let's look here first. Oh, it's pumping the sound through my speakers. That's interesting. I think we had better. Every time, I would really, probably somebody's already explained this to me, but I'd really love to truly understand what causes that to be picked up. Was it the low chance of scoring from that position? Was it the spin he put on the ball? What makes it really stand out? Let me go turn off that light. All right. Finances. Surely they're thrilled. We've not spent any money that they didn't spend themselves. We're still, reputation hasn't really changed. I wonder if that goes up next season once we make it to the Champions League. Or maybe it depends on if we get just absolutely slaughtered in the group stage. It's yep, you don't really belong here. No new sponsorship deals, which is disappointing, but maybe we'll get one once we are officially in the Champions League. Everything dropping. Not good. This is bad. Barak was the top kit this year. Panya, Diaz coming in the middle of the season. Kishna and Bayern. Man, Bayern with the torn knee ligaments is, I mean, I can't sell him now because no one's going to buy a guy with a torn knee ligaments. It's like, January window. See ya, brother. Team of the season. Carranza, Ratier. Get bounce back season. Let's go. Barak, Diaz, Vulic, Caviglia, Augustinson, Nielsen, Uis, and Al-Louise with Leopold in between the sticks. As you can tell, performed very well. Very well. All right, let's move on. Club awards. Fans player of the season. Hans Nicolosi Caviglia. Hello, son. Young player. That's, oh man, if you're Carranza, you're like, what have I got to do? What do I have to do? Barat getting the young player of the season. Gila getting the signing of the season over Vulic, because I kind of thought it was either Gila or Diaz or Vulic, but coming in, obviously he helped out when we had the injury crisis. Carranza with 20 goals, Hans with the 12 assists, so that's obviously boosted him in the eyes of the fans. Panya was 6th player of the match, and Barak with the highest average rating of a 7.3. And then, record breakers, Steinman, 16 years and 152 days old when he makes his debut. Get freaking in. Al-Louise gets the right back spot on the best 11. 3 players. Okay, Barak has made the bench because he probably hasn't been here long enough. Ratier also makes the bench because he hasn't really performed long enough. So Diaz is still there as our best right winger. Woof. That is poor. And Vecchia here in the middle. Well, I think that'll change this coming season. I do wonder if this coming season, if we stick with the Christmas tree, if it'll change on here as well. Season review. We've already done this. Analyst report. Yeah, we are quiet and borderline leaky. And aggressive and clinical. So that's what you want. Expected goals. Holy cow. That is so different from the last 2 seasons. 57.7. We scored 79. So that's a bit of our overperformance, I think. 63.6 expected points, and we scored 74. Wowzers. But even with that, okay, we still ended up in the correct position. That's interesting. But if you look at it this way, Herenveen, what is the plus 37? Expected goals allowed. Surely they weren't expecting to concede 3. I need a comment. Somebody explain this to me. I get that we had 10 more points than expected. I can wrap my head around that. But I mean, and that we had 21 more goals than expected. But how did they, if the expected goals is 40.7 and that's plus 37 more than expected? Surely not. Surely that's, I'm very confused. All right, my friends, I'm going to, Club Vision, I'll do all the meetings and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll hop forward and see how we're doing. He's getting close to a 4 on the first touch, I'm sure. Get Ed, son. The comments on the last episode said, yes, you need a left back and kind of a roll of the dice on the goalkeeper. Either if you can find a stud goalkeeper, go for it. If not, give it to Nikimia. We'll see how it goes, and I'll show you here in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Well, my friends, we spent the money. We still have a ton of wage budget left, but we spent the transfer budget. But first, I think we're going to have some teething pains, some growing pains this season. We lost 3-0 to PSV, and we're going with the youngster in between the sticks. And just dribble, and he just stands there and then doesn't get the ball, and it slides in. I was like, I don't know if that's fully his fault, but he definitely participated in that. Morgado ripped us apart. 3 goals for him, getting the hat trick. And then this happened, and I was like, oh no. Like, I haven't seen that happen in a long time. So I think there's going to be some growing pains. Speaking of growing pains, we're about to do the Champions League draw. We are 2-0-2. Now, to be fair, we did lose that one game to PSV with at least one goalkeeper mistake, maybe 1.5, and he still got a good rating. Like, his rating in that game was a 7.2, and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening right now. And then we got smashed by Ajax. I mean, it was 1-1 until the 75th minute, but their quality came through, and we had a poor game. And this one, Nikemia had a 6.4, so maybe it was more his fault. But we just came back, and we beat Feyenoord 2-1, which was nice, because we were down 1-0. You'll see some new names here, but that was quite nice. So we're going to do the draw, and then we'll do our transfers. I mean, I'm not going to show you all these names here at the bottom. It's all the usual suspects as you do. You can pause and take a look at those as you want. Let's just look where we're at. The very, very bottom, my friends. Okay, so we're 16. And AZ is a 43.5. Borussia Mönchengladbach is a 77. So, like, if you're looking at third place teams, right? Like, I think it's a big ask for us to do anything, but we've already gotten the 16 million in money for making the group stage, which is, you know, just fantastic. So let's just go ahead and set up the 3 teams in the groups. Right. So do you want to be with Ajax, Dortmund, and Moscow, or Inter and Real Madrid and Lyon, or Arsenal and Atletico Madrid and Porto, or PSG, Man United, and Club Brugge? All of these are terrible. Liverpool, Milan, and Benfica, Bayern, Juventus, Valencia, Barcelona, Man City, AZ, Salzburg, Chelsea. I would take Group H. All of these look absolutely brutal. Now, I haven't looked to see like where those clubs are in 2024, but like just looking at the name recognition, it's like, oh no, like this looks really hard. Our affiliate, Roma. Go on, lads. Oh, it's so close. We're going to end up with Man City, aren't we? I just feel like my channel, we end up with Man City and Barcelona all the time. What if we could get to Group H? The dream. And it may not even really be an accurate dream. Hey! Well, I may have asked for too much. We'll see here. So let's look. Chelsea. Okay. Finished 4th last season. Progress. Now, currently... Has the league even started? Yes, they're top of the table. Go on. Borussia Mönchengladbach. Okay. 3rd in the Bundesliga. Currently 9th. They've started their season. Yes, 2 games in. Doesn't really matter. And Salzburg, who, yes, have dominated the Austrian Premier Division. So maybe we shouldn't have asked for that. But, like, I just think you look at the other ones, you go, ooh, but... What do you think of the draw? All right, my friends, I'm going to take you through the ins first. And again, instead of going back and forth on the transfer screen, I'm just going to pop you in to the player. So Armel Nagoran, Ivorian, 18 years old. 18 years old. I just want to say that again. 18 years old, my friends. His first game for us against FC Emmen, he was a 6.3. Maybe it was too big of an occasion but to start him at the beginning of the season. But you know, I did, and it didn't go well. Paid him $7,000 a week. We paid 2.7 million from Vitesse Guimaraes. That's exactly how you say it. Really just a prospect, right? Like, he hasn't really played for them. He's only played for their B team. But yeah, I think he's like the next Burak Ince, right? Like, we've stuffed the midfield with really good players. So we're kind of locked into playing some variation of a system with lots of midfielders. That's kind of what we've done. We do have options on the wings, but pretty much it's 4-4-2 diamond or the Christmas tree, or, you know, I thought about doing like because a lot of the comments said, like, you need to have a counterattacking, like a fluid counterattacking. I was like, what if we did like a 5-3-2? Right, like to use our midfield spots, but also we have really good center backs. I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on that, but we'll come to it. So I think Armel's quite good, and I'm glad he's here. Good Dan. Next up, speaking of playing on the wing, Bogdan Casoni, Romanian 19-year-old. You're gonna see a theme here because this is how GHG manages teams. Yes, I'm talking in third person. We picked him up for 4 million from FC Viitorul in Romania, where he was actually playing. So that's a plus. Now it's the Romanian, Casa Liga 1, or Yeah. Anyway, but he scored 18 goals with 7 assists and 15 goals with 3 assists the season before. So it's not like he knows how to play the game. Now, is he as good? Who knows? But what I really liked, right, is on if we're going to slowly phase out Kishna, especially on the left, this guy is, I think, the sauce. I think is the kid's term. He's got the sauce. Now, his technique would indicate he doesn't, but he can dribble. He's good at long shots. He's got the flair. I'm not saying like he's automatically the best thing ever, but he's quite good, I think. I think he's a long-term really good option. We're paying him $8,000 a week. He's worth $6.25 million. The other thing that I've run into is I've offered lots of regular starter or better contracts, and I think I mentioned this the last 2 seasons, and I've continued to do it. We've got the Champions League and the Cups. Like, we'll find playing time for everybody. Sure, it's fine. Now, I think I already showed Lucas Kris here, but just to remind you, we brought him in for $2.1 million from Slaven Liberec. He's going to be down in the, I think he's in the, what team is he in? He's in the B team squad right now. I think he's a long-term really good investment. He's just not quite good enough to come up right now, but if we have like an injury crisis, I would 100% pull him up, but it makes more sense to leave him down there so that he can get his starts, work on actually improving as a footballer. So yeah. Next up, we signed Jean-Philippe Jean-Philippe, sorry. Maybe some of you know him because he's actually an actual footballer. He's 28. In reality, did he actually go to Everton? Is he still there? But Mines and Lens Prospect. I don't know where he came from, but maybe he's come through their system. It just doesn't really, obviously, because that's actually in reality. It's okay. Stop rambling, GHG. All right. I couldn't turn down. We brought him in on trial in the summer. And I really like him, right? Especially because what I've set up right now for our counterattacking fluid system is a 4-3-3 with a DM, kind of Liverpool-esque, right? Like the wingers and the striker and nobody in the attacking mid with a roaming playmaker and all that kind of stuff. I just went with like, I let the game set the tactic. I changed a little bit of things, but that's kind of how it came out. And what kind of sealed the deal for me is he was okay with, I should say, squad player minutes. Now we're paying $14,000 for squad player minutes, but our wage budget is like $100,000 more than we're spending, if not more. And I was just like, this guy, I think, could be really solid, especially when we get into those tough Champions League games. You got to have that guy to hold down the midfield. He's got the mentals for it as well. He's really good at tackling. He's got a really good work rate, and he also knows like a box-to-box midfielder, so we can use him in our 4-3-2-1. We can use him in our 4-2-3-1 on the left side with a central midfielder on defend. Like, he's kind of a Shaq, but better. Now, he can't cover left back like Shaq can, but he can cover right back, which is kind of crazy. So I'm really excited about him. And again, it's a mix of, I think he's a really good player, but also he's not going to be like, hey, why aren't you playing me? Like, all the time. Like, I think it's good. Next up, my friends, we have signed Dominic Bender as a goalkeeping prospect / the backup to Kylian Nkemia. He's got really good potential ability, and his current ability is darn close. I mean, originally our scout said it was 2.5 stars, so he's, oh, you can't see this. You can't see this. 2.5 stars. But he's, dropped off a little bit. But I think the potential is worth it. And we paid 1.2, rising to 1.9. The max we're going to pay is 1.9. And we're going to sell Leopold. It's a little bit of a risk. So this is the teething pains thing. We're going to lose like our experienced 30-year-old goalkeeper. We're going to cash in on him because his contract's up at the end of this season. And what's confusing to me is garage door, first off. I don't know if you can hear that, but my garage door is opening. And where are you? Garage door Twitter account. What's up? People are like, what are you talking about? Leopold beginning to think that he should move to a bigger club. So then we went to sell him. Now, maybe it's the fact that it's not a bigger club. I don't know. But he's got a bid in from FC Heidenhelm 1846, who just got promoted to the Bundesliga. So I think you could say, mate, you can go play in the Bundesliga. They don't really have a goalkeeper option, so like they now they don't have money either, so that's also kind of a problem. So we've accepted 2.4. It's like 1.4 up front and $1 million guaranteed over 3 installments. Like we're gonna get paid either way. I don't really care. And so how I look at this is we paid 1.9 for the guy who's 18, and we're getting 2.4 for the guy who's 30. That's a good deal, especially because I don't think he's gonna get any better, right? So, I mean, if for some reason he turns down the deal because he said he wasn't too sure about it, and I was like, well, you're not going to be in my plans. He's like, well, I don't have another choice. Then I'm like, pretty much, like, you should go play. I mean, I'm okay if he sticks around. It's not like it's going to bleed us dry at 8.25 a week because we've got transfer budget, but I just go, again, it's a little bit of a risk, but both of these guys have really high potential, and Killian is at the same level, other than it's like his first touch is terrible, right? So he's more of a goalkeeper than a sweeper keeper, but we're just going to play, we're hoping to play him into form. And it's kind of funny because everybody's on a backup contract except for Leopold, who accepted a reduction from important player to domestic cup goalkeeper. But that's kind of my thoughts. And he played a 705 despite the game where he made mistakes and it gave him a high rating, and then we lost the other one when he played a 6.4. He's got a 705 rating, so he's done all right thus far. But we kind of said, all right, I couldn't find like a stud, like amazing goalkeeper. And so I went, well, let's roll the dice a little bit. Let's bring in this guy, and he could take the cup games, right? Like the Dutch Cup games, and that'll get him some experience. We'll make sure he's available for the B team and all that kind of stuff. And then, we get rid of Leopold and we cash in and we make 500 grand, which isn't really a whole lot in the big scheme of things, but I don't know. A piece of me goes like, it's 500 grand worth it. Maybe we should keep Leopold. But I'm like, nah, let's roll the dice. Now you're going like, wait, you spent all the money. Where's the money? We literally just signed him. Like literally right before the beginning of the last day of the transfer window. Cledi Selena, we're just gonna call him Selena. Cledi Selena, 18 years old. My friends, I could not find a quality left back, like highly rated, that wasn't also making like 40 grand a week and gonna sell for 20 plus million. Couldn't do it. I'm going to show you some options we looked at because I'm really curious your thoughts. But we came across this guy, and we paid $14.5 million for him, which is probably too much. But it's like, it was literally one of those things like, I cannot find a single player. And so his only experience was on loan in Serie B to Bari, where he did 37 starts on a 6.8. So he was adequate. Who knows if Bari was good or not. Here's why I picked him up. He's either footed, he's professional, he's a wonder kid, he can already play right back, he can definitely play center back, he can play ball playing defender center back, and he's 6'5". So this is my thesis statement on Selena. Okay, we're paying him 23 grand a week. So our wage budget is now completely out of whack because we're paying an 18-year-old who we've offered regular starter minutes, and then like over time it increases to important player and then star player because that was part of the draw to get him to come play with us. We are going to train him on left wing back, which tends to be either on support for us or on defend. But he's got 17 tackling already and 16 technique. Now, we've got him also working on his crossing. So he's got to work on his ball at your feet type scenario. But here's my thinking. If we get into a bind, like it's a transition. So we're going to have Augustinsson be our starter. Selena is going to be the guy that comes in to like relieve him of minutes to play in the Dutch Cup at the left back spot. But we also have an either-footed right back who can also is already an orange dot, right? Like Alois is already an orange dot on left back, and he's either-footed. So, like, we now have two either-footed fullbacks, wingbacks, whatever, on the right-hand side. This guy's 18 and has more time, I feel, to pick up a new position than Alois. But if Alois goes down with injury, this guy plugs right in. If we have a center back crisis, he plugs all right in. Now his passing's not great, so maybe we just play him on central, right? Like, we have options. He's 6'5", but eventually over time we'll have him pick up the left back position, and it increases our flexibility with our squad. That's kind of my plan. Now, how am I going to get him regular starter minutes while we do that? Haven't figured that out yet. We've got 2 friendlies in the first international window, and he's going to play in both of them. But it is definitely a bit of a gamble, and if it's taking him a while to pick it up, I guess we could also switch and have Alois go over there. But I kind of go, if I have to have a player learn a new position, let's make it the new guy and not Alois, who already knows the right side, right? And the right side is also the side we have the attacking, and we'd have to switch that. We'd have to like switch up the Mazzala maybe to the other side, and it complicates things. So we only have to train 1 player at a new position rather than 2, and so Selena is going to take left back eventually. What are your thoughts on that, my friends? All right, so that's the big one right there. We've loaned Peter Pavlovic back out to Sabinic. We've loaned Sarpong back to Dordrecht. We sold Attila Agirman for 200 grand. No one was really interested in him. He was worth 500, but no one was really interested in him. He just wasn't going to make it, so we cashed in. He's doing all right. FC St. Pauli got 200 grand for him. And then in this season, it shows up twice. That's weird. Silas Anderson has also gone to FC St. Pauli on loan. It says 22 grand loan fee. It essentially works out to covering most of his wages. It's not all of his wages, but it's most of them. So he's already gotten 3 starts and a goal on a 6.9 at a good level, I think. So he's at the Bundesliga 2. They finished last season in 11th, so there shouldn't be relegation favorites, although they were currently in 18th and 3 games in. I think it's a good move for him. Like, we're continuing to invest in his development. We have, originally, we loaned out Nazi for a 1 grand a month loan fee until the next transfer window, which I guess because we did it on July 11th, the next transfer window was like September. And so his contract, like at the end of our next transfer window, I meant January. And so since we signed Dominic Bender, he's only got 3-star potential, and he's currently 2-star, and his contract was coming up at the end of the season. He was kind of an investment, right? You remember, we got him on a free, and so we've turned around and sold him, although he hasn't accepted it yet. Has he not accepted it yet? We've sold him for 500 grand, and if he makes 50 appearances for him, it's another 500 grand, and if they make the promotion playoff, it's another 250 grand. So we're kind of cashing in for his current value, but then there's some add-ons, and then the percentage profit of next sale, and they've been doing all right, to be completely honest with you. They're currently 2nd in the league. Now, that doesn't mean a whole lot because it's only 4 games in, but it's better than them being 20th. So there's actually a chance that they could finish top 5, and we end up, cashing in on that. So it was just one of those things. We've sold Bram Venekers to KSC. As you can see there, he just wasn't ever going to be good enough. This is the guy, remember, that we loaned out to Sweden. So we sold him for 350 grand, rising to 450 grand. So cool. Rajiv Ventholt came back from loan with his torn up knee, and we've loaned him to VfL Osnabrück for 8 grand total in the Bundesliga 2. Really, I think that's more of it's just essentially covering his wages, just doing it in different ways. Again, I still believe in this guy, but he just wasn't gonna. We kind of have an abundance of center backs, so he wasn't going to play this season for us. So let's go get him some good minutes. And again, they're in the Bundesliga 2, so keeping him busy there. And we finally sold Amain Al-Kharicha for 600 grand to KSC. He wasn't going to be good enough either. I think 600 grand is kind of stealing it, to be honest with you. It's 600 grand, and we're paying, like, his wages was like 1.7 with us. We're paying 850 a week of his wages for the next year. But, like, the math still worked out to, like, we're going to net, like, 550 grand on him. I think that's pretty good. And then we had this guy that really wanted to go on loan, and so we pushed him to Dordrecht because no one was interested in him. So this is what the squad depth looks like right now, my friends. We've got Carranza. It actually says Cassoni, the left winger we signed. It can also play up top, so he's another striker option. Kishta is also still somehow the 3rd best striker we have. Ratier, Andrade, which I might loan or push to Dordrecht. I'm not real sure. By the time you comment your thoughts, it'll probably be too late. But it says he can operate at an Eredivisie level, and he's wanted on loan. by a couple teams. I kind of go, let's give him one more season with us, especially with the Champions League group stage coming. I think he'll take like the starting minutes maybe for our Dutch Cup games is kind of what I'm thinking. And then Stassen is somehow below him. I disagree with that. And then Van de Arend, who we might loan out. Maybe. I think we'll probably loan him out in January. Again, I kind of worry about the Champions League and the fixture congestion and all that kind of stuff. On the left, it says Panya's our best option, but Cassoni's the actual winger option rather than an inverted option. Panya, Hans, Barak, Armel, Nagorin. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. On the right, we're a little light, but Stassen can play there. Panya can play there. Hans can play there. Not very well. Aratier can get minutes there. And then if you let's switch it over to this. This is the more likely situation. I mean, just look at this. Look at this midfield. Panya's he's gonna play in the shadow striker, the advanced playmaker forward. But Hans, Barak, Gila, Diaz, Jean-Pierre, Nielsen can play there. Nagorin can play there. Shaq, Ratier, Vulic, which we might sell in January. Maleka can play there. It is so stacked in the midfield, which is why I'm like, we just need to play a system that uses a lot of these guys. So again, whether it's a 4-3-2-1 or a 4-4-2 diamond, something that uses a lot of midfielders, I think is going to be to our strength. Again, you go, oh, you didn't sign that left back. Yes, I didn't. I couldn't find one. I'll show you the options we looked at. But we now have cover because Jean-Philippe can play on the right wingback spot. I still want to use Castillo there, to be completely honest with you. But he can also play center back. So can Selena. Like, I feel like we have improved. It just hasn't been like that. It is a monster signing, but it's a monster signing that has to develop. So I don't know how that's going to go over, but that's where we're at. Looking at the options we did look at, Carlos Santamaria has an active relegation release clause of like 18 million, which I thought was too much for somebody of his quality. Although you could argue you just paid 14.5 for the other guy, but I think Selena is slightly better, to be honest with you. He's got a professional attitude. He's considered a wonder kid. I tried to offer like 5 million. I tried to offer 1.7 and then like 3 and then 5, and they said no. I was like, no, and I made him our top transfer target and nothing happened. I almost signed this one. This is the one I really wanted to show you. Konstantin Vivcharenko. He's really physical. Look at the physical stats. Although he's 5'10", cannot jump, but he's fast as all get out. So like would help if he makes a mistake, he can get back, he can get involved in the attack, he can get back. His crossing and dribbling is currently better, but his mentals really made me pause, especially because they eventually bought him for 11.75 million and they're paying him essentially the same. So it's like, is it worth 3 million? I think, and he's 22. I think Selena is a better buy. He might not be a better buy for this season, right? Because he doesn't know left back. Fair. And this guy's mentals could improve and his technicals could continue to improve. But I just go, he's not going to be on here. Selena already has really good mentals for his age. His physicals aren't as good, but could improve. He's 6'5", so we can like change what we do on set pieces. And I think the technicals, as he ages, right? He's going to be 19 in February, so like he's 18 and a half. He has time to develop those technicals. In the meantime, we can throw him in as a substitute and try and keep him happy with his minutes. Am I trying to justify it too much? I don't know. Before we go here, just a quick update. The board just wants us to reach the playoff. I'm like, but we're in the group stage. Or is it like, I don't understand any of this, but then in the league qualify for the Europa League. So no longer is it top half. Like, since we kind of, I think, outperformed ourselves last year, now they're like, yeah, let's keep doing this. And they've dropped it to just play entertaining football. So essentially, to qualify for the Europa League, that means like, they don't mean finishing third in the Champions League, right? So they want us to reach fourth in the league, I think is the idea. We are currently 10th. It's 4 games in. And the good news is, my friends, I think like we've already gotten past some really tough opponents. Like we've kind of, in a way, lucked out that we played PSV and Ajax early in Feyenoord, because now that we've got the Champions League, again, I'm not expecting us to, quote, pull up any trees, whatever the heck that means, in the Champions League, but it's not like we're also playing Ajax right after, Chelsea or Borussia Mönchengladbach or something like that. So we've got Heracles, Twente, Groningen, Breda, Vitesse, Utrecht, to be fair, currently top of the table. RKC, though, is back in the league. Willem II, it's kind of nice. AZ is the only thing, and that's way in December. And we have a week between NEC and AZ before we take on Chelsea. And by that point, the group is already probably sorted, and we're either third or fourth, and probably fourth, and it doesn't really matter, right? Like, we could just play whoever. And then Zwolle, and then Utrecht again to wrap up. So it has kind of worked out from a scheduling standpoint for us, in my opinion, to where it doesn't look good right now because we're currently in 10th. But we have the opportunity now to go make a run in some of these other games. I am a little worried that they've kind of figured us out with the Christmas tree. So do we change the system? But I kind of also go, well, we can't really change the system because I've gone all in on midfielders. But this is the other kind of formation to kind of, if we're coming up against, maybe I should have learned my lesson and used this against the likes of Ajax or something like that, but we might use this in the Champions League, not with these players. These are the players for the international window friendlies to kind of get their match sharpness up, but this is the system. Inside forward with a winger, a roaming playmaker, a box-to-box midfielder, and a ball-winning midfielder. And again, the ball-winning midfielder being Jean-Philippe. I think that's his, man, you're going to make an impact on the team this season. You're playing DM, go wreck some people. And he's done that in games. It's been really good to see. So that's kind of where we're at, my friends. The next time you see us is going to be a Champions League doubleheader with Borussia Mönchengladbach, easy for me to say, and Chelsea. How do you rate our chances in that 1 in the league, 2 in the Champions League, and we do have to do the Dutch Cup try. I just realized it's not on the screen. It's not on the screen, lads. September 25th. That's starting. When is the draw? I guess that's for the... Yeah, we're not going to be in the second... We'll get there eventually. I can't wait to see what you think about that potential left back that we spent a record fee on. It wasn't desperation, I promise. I really think he's a good signing. Can you tell I mean it? Hit the like button? Hey, welcome back, GHG. We'll see you next time.